I mean, we're all speculating at the moment, and as I leave this interview, probably there has been new decisions taken. But there is a few things we can be fairly robust about. One is in the light of the developments and whatever happens with the sanction, there will be more attention on what the EU has called strategic autonomy. So we will be looking much more carefully on where we get our materials from, where we get our energy from, and how do we become less dependent on imports. Because what we have seen, not just through the Russia-Ukraine war, has been that also in COVID, that the supply chains, the international supply chains can be very vulnerable. And we experience right now there are shortages of certain materials. That's why we produce less car in Europe than we could actually do. So the resilience of the supply chains will get an extra push. Now, how does that relate to climate policy? It's clear we need a lot of electricity. As I said before, there will be a real big push to produce more renewables in Europe so that we are less dependent on imports. So that will be one of the elements. Another element will be we are looking very carefully on where our mineral raw materials come from. And I would expect there's a lot of new research now also done to see how can we replace certain mineral raw materials through other ones which are less vulnerable in the global scene. And international relations-wise, we will have a discussion and we will have a look where are these raw materials, and we will very much try to develop partnerships with these countries as we did with those where we're buying our energy from. So these are longer-term trends we can be fairly clear. It's a difficult situation to see what will happen with the energy situation. There might be a disruption of gas supply. There might be sort of disruptions on oil, or we might be replacing Russian oil by something else. So what we know there, it's very clear there will be high energy prices, and we see them as you go passing any petrol station. The prices are very high, and under normal circumstances, or if the situation continues, we will see very high gas prices for a very long time. A long time means certainly over next winter, because there will be globally a shortage which will be reflected in the prices in Europe. I don't think we will see rationing of gas or disruption, but we will see very high prices, and we should be prepared for that. Now, the good thing is, if you wish, because of these high energy prices, the governments receive a lot of tax revenues, because if energy is high, the VAT part the governments collect is also very high. So governments will get a lot of money extra, which they haven't expected, so they can also do compensation for the vulnerable group. But we as consumers should be prepared to spend more on our energy than we did in the past.